Is this like the first indie movie that I've reviewed? No, Garden State, no. I don't even know. Probably, yeah. So Dope is a story about three teenagers that are very obsessed with 90s hip-hop and the culture, and they go into this party accidentally, and then they stumble upon a bunch of drugs that they need to get rid of, and thus becomes the plot of the movie and the entertaining situations that come with it. The performances in this were absolutely amazing. Shamik Moore, I believe that's how you pronounce his name, was pretty fantastic in this movie, and I can't wait to see more from him, because he was just a very relatable person. He was very sensitive, and he was the most likable person that I've seen in a movie in a while, and it's very refreshing to see a character that's just very likable and relatable. I saw myself in his shoes to see how he was interacting with the other characters, and I just thought he was a very entertaining character. Tony so I can't pronounce his name, but this guy is here to stay. I mean, he's a great actor. He was fantastic in the Grand Budapest Hotel, very underrated performance, but now he's back and Dope, and he was pretty amazing. I thought he was my favorite character out of the three, or my second favorite character out of the three. He was just very comedic, and he was there when he was necessary to be there for the story. Kirsty Clemens, I believe you pronounced it. There's a lot of people I can't pronounce the name. Was my least favorite out of the three, but that being said though, she was still highly entertaining to watch. The chemistry between these three is just absolutely amazing, and I found them very relatable and entertaining to watch, and whenever they would mention something about music, being sort of a music nerd myself, I would laugh in a lot of scenes. The narration by Forrest Whitaker was also pretty good. Like, at some scenes it kind of feels off, and then in other scenes it does feel like it is, like it's a part of the story. Like near the beginning of the movie, there's a couple of freeze frames with some of the characters, and then you hear Forrest Whitaker's voice narrate over the characters and kind of explain them, but not in that obligatory movie way, but sort of in a sarcastic and making fun of itself sort of way. And I really love the style of the editing of the movie, and even more than I like the narration of the movie, because the editing in the movie, you see, it's very unique. You know, it's not that straightforward. The editing to me is very noticeable, but not in a bad way. I mean it in a good way. Like, it gives it a fresh feel. It's very unique, and I just loved how there is this freeze frame, and then at certain points in the movie they would literally just rewind all the footage and then go back to a certain character situation to see how it all went down from a different person's perspective, and I thought that was just really, really cool. And another thing that I liked about this movie was the cinematography. The cinematography was pretty on point, and it was very, not Wes Anderson-esque like a lot of people were saying, but everything was shot perfectly is what I'm trying to say. The rule of thirds was very used greatly, and a lot of the scenes don't just feel like panning. It actually had really like unique shots to it, and I enjoyed how this movie looked a lot. Another awesome thing about this movie was the soundtrack. The soundtrack was catchy as hell. It was very much, after I left the theater, I was humming a lot of these tunes in my head, and they were just really stuck. I have to buy the soundtrack sometime soon, because I'm not a very rap-oriented person, but the songs used in this were very catchy and fit the scenes very well, instead of just using just some random music. I do have one minor issue with the movie. That's with Zoe Kravitz's character. She kind of appears in the beginning of the film, and then like towards somewhere in the middle or the end of the second act, you get to see her again, and then when I saw her again, I was like, I completely forgot about her. But then the third act of the film, she comes back again. I completely forgot her character by the third act of the film, but it stops feeling like it's a part of the story, and it starts feeling like, oh, it's a loose end that we have to wrap up. But I enjoyed her character nonetheless. It's just that I wish she would have been a little bit more present, or there would have been something to remind us that she was kind of there, because overall the story of the drugs and them trying to get rid of it's highly entertaining, and then I always forget about Zoe Kravitz in the first act, second act, and the third act. But overall, Dope was a very enjoyable movie. It's probably my favorite out of 2015. Yeah, because my favorite out of 2015 so far is, I believe, Mad Max, Kingsman, and then now we have Dope. So yeah, Dope is my favorite movie of 2015 so far, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Please see it in the theater near you, and I'm giving this one an in and out. That was my review, guys. What do you guys think of Dope, if you guys have seen it? And let me know in the comments section down below, and I will see you in the next video. Hopefully it won't be too long. And yeah.